Hi everyone. Here's what an unidentified person says in this video. I hope you can discuss the MIT professor's nice guy essay. He was so concerned about women's well-being that he feared upsetting them. He blamed extremely insensitive feminist message training. Women hated him. They accused him of being inconsiderate and not overly concerned about their health. What would you tell a 25-year-old Hoover hand who's afraid to chat to girls for fear they'll be offended and damage his feelings? Thanks. Well, an MIT professor admits he felt afraid and not privileged as a nerd. Unlike land whales and feminists, nerds then didn't have fat empowerment. Feminists branded him privileged since geeks are the first to adopt and invent advanced technology and join in on the microcomputer revolution. It may be true today that geeks are privileged due to the internet, mobile devices, computer science, and programming. But it wasn't when I was growing up. Nerds were considered misfits and lepers. In the early 1990s, a digital nomad was someone like myself on BSCS, one of the first Canadians to use Yahoo's directory when it had few links. My ICQ was under 10,000 then. Because of shame, nerds and geeks used technology to communicate. Nerds feminized themselves first because they thought that was what ladies wanted. She wanted nice males. Nerds tend to be more reasonable and reasoned because they couldn't afford to be impulsive as children. Being an STNG fan was like living in continual conflict. Middle school or early 1990s Star Wars fan. Between 12 and 20, the MIT professor was frightened that one of his female classmates would learn out he was attracted to her. He'd be dubbed a strange, beaten, and possibly expelled. Expulsion from school was exaggerated, but you get the idea. These guys grew up walking on eggshells around other boys and girls, so it's normal for them to continue this conduct as adults. Unconcerned women. They realize that if a man can act like a jerk, he will because that's feminine nature, and they expect men to react the same way. A charming, smart, hard-working, and successful man is fortunate in their eyes. He's privileged enough to treat women like garbage. But he's not. Women judge privilege based on what they could do, not what they do. Women's power isn't expressed openly. It comes from having the most possible moves on life's chessboard, whether you make them or not. Men don't comprehend. We focus on actual decisions and moves, not potential ones. Men who behave well are usually sincere, but women regard them as weak and manipulative. They watch a decent person trading favors for her underwear. Bad boys are more honest since they don't hide their actual nature. Most pleasant guys are nice because they've been conditioned to be, especially 1980s and 1990s geeks. You should have been talking to girls and gotten rejected when you were 13 or 14 years old. I did this and had epic fails. I had fear and needed to be bold, but I didn't sense anxiety until I was 17 or so. Men over 25 are more prone to feel anxious when chatting with women. My advice is to ignore feminist brainwashing and talk to women on road trips, vacations, or other occasions where they won't affect your daily life. I recommend cougar bars. The women there will tolerate you if you stutter, but they're more interested in stumbling into your lap. Humans think aged women are wonderful for practice because their bodies are like expiring lottery tickets. Some may even call out your undesirable habits. Men fear embarrassing themselves, but if you do it enough, you won't care. Women like experienced men because they have self-confidence from shattering their egos repeatedly. Most decent guys and geeks in their 30s have their first meaningful adult relationships with women and don't understand. Women fear being alone and having baby rabies. These men often marry the first used lady they find, have kids, and then divorce 5 or 10 years later. The woman swallows their most fruitful year's earnings. Avoid this. If you miss their finest years, don't be there during their worst. You, the rich, socially awkward nerd, will be their golden parachute. Don't do it. Let them jump off the building and hit a wall 911 style. Beware, settling down women. It's a numbers game. If you approach 10 women, One or two may respond. Imagine you're a salesman selling hot beef injection insurance. Late teens and early 20s will have less attitude. At that point, they're not seeking for a man to lock down and don't have baby rabies, so you can have some fun. That's my finest advice. I can't imagine being in your generation, where polite guys are scared of women. Work hard to overcome indoctrination, and don't end up like this MIT professor supporting post-wall hussy and her daughter. He thinks he's one and can do math forever, but what if she hires a lawyer to do math in divorce court? That's all I got to say for today. Don't forget to smash the like button and bang the bell. Enjoy the rest of your day and cheers.